Welcome back to the SSL Family Dad channel. Today we are going to talk about something that could literally save your life, or at least make a bad day into a better one if you find yourself into a bit of trouble on the side of the road. So one of the things that we've kind of been more and more aware of lately and over the last few years is running into vehicle problems. We live somewhere in between Flint and Detroit, and we oftentimes find ourselves in one of those cities. They're known for having higher crime rates. We serve, sometimes my wife serves up at the jail ministry in Flint, and sometimes we may go down to Detroit area for events or other things like that. And so we may find ourselves in those larger cities, and we have to take precautions. It's just the facts of life. We're not afraid to go to those places, but we do want to make sure that we're prepared. So one of the fears that I always kind of have in the back of my mind when my wife goes up there, I have two young daughters that are, one that's going to be driving soon and one that already is driving. When they go to these places is, what happens if they have vehicle problems? What happens if they have a flat tire in a bad neighborhood, or cutting through, GPS takes them down a road, flat tire happens, something else happens, they wherever they're parked, maybe at school or something like that, and they come out to the parking lot, it's late at night, they have a dead battery. What do we do in those situations? I don't want to leave my kids or even myself, my family, stranded somewhere. And so I've put together a little kit that I've kind of put together over the years of things that have been handy, or to solutions to problems that I have personally run into on the side of the road. And I'm going to be replicating this kit across all of our vehicles. Right now we have it in our old vehicle. I'm going to be putting this in my wife's vehicle, and then making another kit like this for my daughter. So I thought I would share with you guys what is in it, and we'll take you through some of the things that we carry and why we have them in the kit. All right, so we have a bin here, has a click lid and a handle. I'll put a link to these on Amazon, but you can buy these anywhere. This one is nice. It does have a handle on the top, and it also has a tray. So there's two separate compartments, one below, which we'll dig into here in just a minute, and then there's one here on top. So a couple of the kind of staple things that I have in here. This is just actually a whistle that we 3D printed on the new longer LK5 Pro 3D printer that I'll be using a lot. But this is just an emergency whistle. So it's in here in case you're, if one of the girls is out in a parking lot late at night, or trying to solve a problem or deal with something, and somebody's trying to attack you, or you need emergency help or something. This is just a good little thing to have. They sell these. This could be put on a keychain or whatever, but it's in here just in case. The other thing I have in here is an old Leatherman that I don't use very often, or actually a Gerber. And this is just a multi-tool that's handy for everything. So you've got pliers in here so you can take small bolts or nuts off. You've got wire cutters in here, and then obviously all the rest of the tools that come with this, a knife. This is handy to have no matter what. I always actually carry my Leatherman on me, but just in case I didn't have it that day, or I'm not there, this is good to have for solving all kinds of problems. There have been times when I have actually had radiator hoses that started leaking or had a cut in them or something like that. I was able to actually use a Leatherman, undo the hose clamp, cut the hose, put it back on, put the hose clamp back on, and drive on the rest of the way. So things like this can be super handy to solve problems on the side of the road for just about anything. I have an extra cap here for valve stem. Not super important, but I always keep some of the tire type items in here. I also have just a couple bits for a screwdriver, which I'll show you in just a minute. So I just have a Phillips and a flathead bit. This is just handy to have, and then I'll show you the actual screwdriver part of that. So there's a headlamp in here. This is extremely helpful if you're by yourself. I do have another flashlight I'll show you in a minute also, but a headlamp is extremely nice to have. This one here is it does take regular batteries. It has to have a flashing light for like an emergency use, and then it's got several different brightnesses. This one takes AAA batteries. You could carry an extra set of batteries in here too, but these things seem to hold charge pretty decently for a good length of time, but good to check every year. And then the other thing I have in here is something new. We're actually going to test this out in just a little bit. So this is actually a jump starter from a company called Gulu. This thing is awesome. I already tested it, so you'll see it's actually a little low on charge, but this will hold a charge. I charged it up a couple weeks ago and left it, and it was still at 100%. So I'm assuming if you maybe check this once a year or once every 6 months and make sure it's charged in here, then it would be totally fine. It actually has a flashlight on it here, so you can actually turn it on, and I'll show you all the different accessories that come with it. And it has a flashlight, several different brightnesses, so this can be useful. Not quite as useful as the headlamp if you're by yourself, but definitely useful if you need a flashlight. And then at the end here, it's got a bunch of different things. So if your phone's dead, you're on the side of the road somewhere, you got a dead phone, you got a dead battery, something's going on, you always have the option to charge your phone. It's got USB-C and then several different regular USB-A ports to charge the various devices. It comes with a bunch of different charging options. So you can actually charge the unit through those ports as well, from a USB source. It also has a cigarette lighter plug here that you can plug it into a cigarette lighter or accessory plug and charge it that way. And you also have the side USB port here, so you can charge multiple things at once. But then it also has these two things here. So it's got a converter, USB-C cable, so you can charge a USB-C device. Or charge it. It also reverses, charges it through USB-C. And then you also have the cigarette lighter plug. So you can, if you need to run a 12-volt accessory and you need some reach, I'll show you what the purpose of this is here in just a minute, or you need to have a dead battery or something like that, or need to do it remotely, you can take this anywhere and you can run a 12-volt accessory off of it. So pretty useful, but the main use of this thing is actually in the lower compartment here, which is these jumper cables. So you actually take this and plug them in, and then you hook this up to a battery that is dead, even one like our Suburban outside that is 100% dead, and you start your car with it. So you just turn this thing on and go in and fire it up. So I actually have, like I said, our Suburban outside. It's a V8 engine, and it requires a decent amount of power to get started. So let's go outside and give that a shot and see if this will start that up from a completely dead battery. All right, just to show you that it's completely dead. Got nothing. So pretty awesome little deal. Again, this will be linked in the description as well. This I was actually super impressed with. I can't believe how much power this thing has. It actually started that engine better than the battery does. So this is going to be useful. It's always in my car, so I can use it around the homestead also if I need to jump start tractors or golf carts or other things. Instead of trying to take another vehicle out there hauling a battery around, I can just grab this thing and take it with me. So super useful little device. And that it has lots of purposes in here. So here's the screwdriver that I have in here that these bits will fit in, so that we can just use that if we need to unscrew things. I also have this multi-use little kind of socket wrench here. This will work for, or I guess adjustable wrench basically is what it is. And this can help remove all different sizes of nuts and bolts, so that's handy to have. So the other thing we run into a lot of times is we have a flat tire. So you have two choices in your kit. What I have chosen to do in this kit, since it was in the vehicle that I normally drive, is this is actually a Slime brand tire repair kit. I have used these things extensively over the years on all kinds of different tires. You can 100% repair a flat tire on the side of the road as long as it's not pierced in the sidewall. If it's pierced by a nail or any other thing, you basically get your Leatherman out, use the pliers on your Leatherman to pull the spike or nail or whatever stuck in your tire that's making it flat or leak. You use this, this is a ream tool. You just stick this in the hole and you ream that hole out a little bit. You place one of these little rubber plugs through the hole in this tool right here. and you shove that in the hole, you twist it a little bit, you pull it out, and it actually has a slot in it, so it leaves the plug. The plug pulls out and gets stuck in the tire, and it'll seal up that hole. I use these as permanent repairs. There's no need to go and do anything else with it. Once you've used this, that's a permanent repair. So this is a great tool to have in your kit. Now with that, you need to air up the tire once you've plugged it, and so I have this little compressor. This has a 12-volt plug on it, and again, we can use our little device here to power this air compressor around all 4 tires if the battery's dead, or if this plug sometimes won't reach on larger trucks to the back tires or something. So you can use this to power it. So the air compressor is a handy thing to have in there. Now, you also can replace these 2 items if, let's say, for my teenage daughter, I doubt she's going to be repairing the tire herself like this. So in her kit, or even in my wife's kit, in the car, I'll just have a can of Fix-A-Flat. So this is easy. This will stay good for, I don't know what the expiration is on this stuff, but it seems to do fine even in cold weather. I've kept these around for years and they still seem to work. So this stuff is great. You can throw this in the bottom of the kit, and of course, if you have a flat tire, this will fill it up enough usually to at least get you somewhere, get out of the area, get you, somewhere safe, somewhere where you can do a more permanent repair, get you home, whatever you need to do. So, and then in the bottom of here is just mainly some rags and different things just to keep everything kind of steady and still in there so it's not shaking all around. And of course, wipe your hands off if you're dealing with tires or dirty stuff. And then I have a hammer in the bottom. Sometimes with, even taking off stubborn lug nuts, you can use the hammer to tap on the crowbar or the tire iron to kind of loosen things up. Just a handy tool to have all around to fix different things and repair various problems. So that is it. That is the extent of the emergency kit. That can solve about 90% of the problems that you're most commonly going to run into on the side of the road or when you're out and about in your vehicle. There are lots of other things that could go wrong. You could have you could have a whole workshop toolkit in your vehicle, of course, if you want to solve every problem that you could have. But the most common things that are going to happen are you're going to have a dead battery or you're going to have a flat tire. Those are just the most 2 common things that happen with vehicles. Other more major things, obviously, you're going to have to call a tow truck, you're going to have to call for help or something like that. This kit is handy to have in every vehicle, even if I don't expect my daughter to do a tire change on her own or things like that. Of course, we would come and help her if possible, but I'd like for her to know how to do those things and to have access to this stuff if she needed to. As she gets older, that's something that she's may have to deal with on her own at some point, and so I want to make sure that she has the things she needs, my wife as well, and me, if I'm on the side of the road. I have everything that we need to solve that problem and get back safely out of a dangerous environment or off the side of the highway or out of a dark parking lot somewhere and get to safety or get home or get to a place where we can take care of that vehicle in a more permanent way. So let me know, what would your things be that you would add to this kit or remove? Is there something you don't agree with in here, or is there some things that you have that you carry around that have been helpful for you in the past? Maybe I'm not thinking of something. That's fine. That's why you're out there. So put those things in the comments for me to read, as well as for everyone else that's viewing this video. They can browse through those comments and see if they find some other useful things that they could add to their kit. Reasonable things that you could fit in a small box, I guess you could say. So let me know what you guys think. If this is your first time to the SSL Family Dad channel, love to have you subscribe and tag along. You can check out all of the things that were included in this kit down in the description below. We'll put links to all that over on Amazon. Don't forget to hit thumbs up, share the video with friends, family, and those that you care about out there. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.